You are worth millions. What if a billionaire walked up to you tomorrow and offered $100 million, but in exchange, they wanted something irreplaceable from you, something you could never get back, something essential to who you are? Would you even hesitate? Would you negotiate for more? No. You'd refuse instantly without a second thought. Because deep down, you already know some things about you are priceless. So here's the question that changes everything. If parts of you are truly beyond any price, why do you sometimes live like you're worth far less? Why do so many people accept lives that underpay their potential, drain their energy, and shrink their spirit? This is the truth most people never face. And once you see it, everything changes. At some point in life, almost everyone encounters the same quiet lie. It doesn't scream. It doesn't announce itself. It whispers. It tells you that you've been damaged, that your mistakes lowered your worth, that your failures defined your ceiling. Life has a way of doing this to us. We get dropped by circumstances we didn't choose, crumpled by decisions we regret, stepped on by expectations we never agreed to, and slowly, we begin to feel less valuable, not because we are, but because we've confused experience with worth. But here is the truth, stated clearly. No matter what has happened to you, no matter what you've lost, no matter how broken you feel, your true value has never been reduced. Not once. Not by failure, not by rejection, not by delay, not by pain. Value is not fragile. It doesn't disappear when you fall. It doesn't fade when life is hard. It remains untouched. Think about something precious, something rare. If it were bent, scratched, or buried in dirt, would it suddenly lose its worth? Of course not. It might look different. It might carry marks, but its value would remain exactly the same. And so does yours. We live in a world that tries to put price tags on people. By income, by productivity, by titles, by how useful they appear to others. But human worth does not work like currency. You are not valuable because of what you earn. You are not valuable because of what you produce. You are not valuable because of how busy you are. You are valuable because you are irreplaceable. Now imagine this. Suppose someone needed something only you could provide, something essential to their life. And suppose they offered you more money than you've ever seen in exchange. Would you agree? No, because some parts of you cannot be sold. Your sight, your mind, your identity, your existence. Those things are priceless by nature. And that realization reveals something powerful. If even one part of you is beyond price, then your value cannot be measured. You are not worth thousands. You are not worth millions. You are beyond price. And yet, so many people live as if they are disposable. They trade their time for far less than their ability deserves. They tolerate environments that drain their energy. They allow others to profit from their gifts while they struggle to survive. Not because they lack value, but because they have forgotten it. You were not created to be exploited. You were created to grow. Inside you exists something extraordinary. Your mind, your creativity, your ability to learn, your capacity to adapt and solve problems. Every form of wealth humanity has ever created began in the mind. Every business, every invention, every system, nothing valuable existed before someone imagined it. And you carry that same capacity. Your potential does not disappear just because it is unused. It waits, quietly, patiently, and the moment you begin to recognize your own worth, your choices begin to change. You stop settling. You stop accepting good enough when you know you're capable of more. You stop shrinking to fit spaces that were never meant for your expansion. This doesn't happen overnight. It happens intentionally. Real change does not begin externally. It begins with self-respect. Because when you respect yourself, you invest in yourself. You learn, you grow skills, you develop discipline. You take responsibility for your future, not out of desperation, but out of understanding. Understanding that you are worth the effort. This is how real wealth is created. Not through shortcuts, not through luck, not through waiting for permission, but by planting your potential where it can grow. Your life is not meant to be lived at a discount. You were not designed to be underestimated, especially by yourself. Abundance is not greed. Abundance is alignment. It is what happens when your abilities are allowed to fully express themselves in meaningful ways. When you align with that truth, fear begins to lose its power. Fear of scarcity, fear of failure, fear of change. You stop asking, "Will someone give me an opportunity?" And you begin asking, "What can I build?" That shift changes everything. You stop chasing approval. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop measuring your worth by external validation. Instead, you begin asking better questions. Where can I grow? What am I capable of learning? How can I create value? What kind of future can I build? These questions don't come from ego. They come from self-respect. And self-respect is the foundation of confidence, clarity, and success. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not broken. You are in the process of remembering who you are. And remembering your value changes how you move through the world. You choose environments that respect you. You choose challenges that grow you. You choose paths that honor your potential. And slowly, consistently, life begins to respond. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You stopped negotiating your worth. You stopped living like you were replaceable. You stopped treating your life like something cheap. Nothing you've been through has lowered your value. Not failure, not rejection, not hardship. You may feel tired. You may feel uncertain. But value does not fade with exhaustion. It remains quiet, unmoved, intact. And the moment you fully accept that truth, not intellectually, but internally, everything shifts. You stop asking what you're worth, and you start living like you already know. Because you were never meant to be small. You were never meant to settle. You were never meant to be priced by someone else's limits. Your real wealth has never been outside of you. It has always lived within. And once you see that, you never accept less again.